The 2020 race. Mike Bloomberg was attacked from all sides at last night's Democratic debate in Las Vegas. The candidates went after the billionaire and former New York City mayor for his record of alleged sexism, his wealth, and policies like stop and frisk, including this heated exchange with Senator Elizabeth Warren, who pressed Bloomberg about non-disclosure agreements signed by women who work for his company.
I hope you heard what his defense was. I've been nice to some women. That just doesn't cut it. So, Mr. Mayor, are you willing to release all of those women from those non-disclosure agreements so we can hear their side of the story?
None of them accused me of doing anything other than maybe they didn't like the joke I told.
President Trump blasted Bloomberg in a morning tweet, saying Mini Mike Bloomberg's debate performance tonight was perhaps the worst in the history of debates, and there have been some really bad ones. He was stumbling, bumbling, and grossly incompetent. If this doesn't knock him out of the race, nothing will. Not so easy to do what I did. Senior columnist Rick Newman with us now. Rick, heading into this debate, Mike Bloomberg had a lot of momentum and was actually rising in the polls. Does his performance last night, what does that do for his chances now?
Yeah, it diminishes his chances. I mean, for once, Trump is not actually overstating the case. I mean, I think we've had 9 Democratic debates so far, and that exchange we showed possibly the worst moment for any candidate in the 9 debates so far. I mean, Bloomberg was just completely flat-footed. He had to have seen this coming. I mean, he's got the most extensive and professional staff of any candidate on the Democratic side, and he was totally unprepared for a question he should have foreseen. This has been in the news, the treatment of women at his company, some of these deals that his company has made with women. Anyway, he flubbed it. So Mike Bloomberg is coming down a notch. He's certainly not out of the race. He's got the money to stay, and he's going to go back to the ads. The other thing, a couple other things from the debate, Joe Biden basically an afterthought at this point. Everybody attacking Mike Bloomberg, nobody attacking Biden, indicating nobody thinks Biden is this giant threat anymore. And by the way, Bernie Sanders is the actual front runner, and nobody really went after him. I mean, we heard the familiar exchanges about how he wants to throw 150 or 160 million people off of their health care and put them into the government plan. But Bernie walked out of there with a spring in his step, barely any dust on his jacket from last night.
Rick, could you explain this to us? Now that one of the themes this morning is this thought there will be a brokered convention.
Right.
What is that, and what would it mean to the markets?
The most likely outcome here is that no single candidate is going to get a majority of votes in these primaries, and you have to win with a majority of votes. A plurality of votes does not put you over the top. So if nobody wins a majority, it goes into the convention, and then they'll have a vote, and if there's no winner in the first vote, which there won't be because the delegates are pledged, then the delegates get to start making second choices, and this is where it gets very complicated with a lot of horse trading behind the scenes, and could also get very ugly. So one of the last questions last night was kind of inside baseball that most viewers probably didn't get it, but the moderator said, do you think that whoever wins a plurality of the vote in the primary should be the nominee? And all of them said no, except for Bernie Sanders, who said yes. And that's because Bernie Sanders is likely to get a plurality, but not a majority. And he says, if I get more votes than anybody else, I should win no matter what.
Really quick, Amy Klobuchar, good night for her.
Good night for her, but remember, her best so far is 3rd, and she has to do way better than that. She actually has to win a couple states.
All right, Rick Newman, thanks so much.
Guys.
Hey, investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.